In today's video, we're going to cover my predictions for the real estate market rolling into 2025. Let's dive right in. My name is Ryan Dossey, and I'm a real estate investor as well as agent. I'm involved both on the home buying side as well as the brokerage side. I own Call Porter. It's an inbound call center. We take like 20,000 calls a month for real estate investors and agents around the country. I also own Ballpoint Marketing. We do millions of pieces of mail a year for real estate investors and agents. And then on top of that, also own SoldFast. So we're a real estate brokerage / direct home buying business in multiple markets across the country. All of that to say, I'm going to show you what we're seeing on the ground in real time and kind of what we anticipate coming through. The first thing that I'm anticipating is I think 2025 really is going to be a separation season. Meaning, I think we're going to see a lot more of who's really doing well and who isn't. You've maybe heard the expression of like when the tide goes out, we see who is swimming without their shorts on. There's been quite a bit of things coming to light, like Ponzi schemes, people borrowing money they shouldn't have been borrowing, deals going sideways, fake proof of funds in a recent like short sale scandal. We're seeing a lot of kind of some of the bad actors get brought to light in the real estate space. I think more than that, though, we're really going to see who has a dialed, functional operation and who doesn't. Gone are the days of 2% rates where you could simply just kind of wing it and get lucky. Gone are a lot of the low-cost methods for marketing in the real estate space. We preached to anybody who would listen that SMS blasting, the whole text message marketing thing was going to die and go away, and a lot of folks didn't believe us, and it's all but dried up. A lot of those easy ways to generate real estate deals or contracts or listings are no more. What I think that means is we're going to see a lot more of who is able to operate without assistance versus who was just kind of getting lucky. In our mastermind group, CCF, 2024 was really interesting. For some folks, it was the best year they've ever had in business. And for others, it was extremely challenging. 3 quick actionable takeaways I have on this. First one, if you're marketing and you have leads, make sure that every single lead has an open task, a reminder for what you need to do next so nobody slips through the cracks. Second, really focus on the activities that are revenue generating. That's going to be marketing. That's going to be networking. It's going to be managing your projects. Just scrolling on Instagram and TikTok isn't likely to get you paid. And the third thing that I think people really need to get figured out rolling into 2025 is call reluctance. You have to be willing to pick up the phone and work your leads and follow up with the people that you've talked to and met and do that continuously. At the end of the day, people are going to do business with the people they like that have kept in touch with them. It's kind of hard for somebody to like you if you only ever text them or if you never pick up the phone to see how they're doing. The second thing that I see happening, this is less of a prediction for me and more just stating things that I've been seeing, a lot of folks are anticipating lower rates rolling into 2025 and slowly declining throughout the entire year. A lot of publications are in the like mid 6s at the beginning of the year, thinking that things will end up closer to like low 6s, high 5s by this time next year. That includes Fannie Mae, the NAR, Realtor.com, and the Mortgage Bankers Association. The third thing that I see being absolutely crucial to succeeding in real estate in 2025 is going to be access to capital. Do you have the ability to take down the opportunities that you're finding? We've kind of all operated under this premise of like, if you find a good deal, you have a good opportunity, the capital will come. I think one thing that's really going to be a standout asset or liability to folks in 2025 is their ability to execute. Can they strike on the opportunities that present themselves? Can they afford to market? What are they paying for that cost of capital? All of those things are going to affect the bottom line. The fourth thing that I'm predicting for 2025 is going to be increased regulation. Republicans have the trifecta. They've got control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency. Historically, this typically only lasts about 2 years, but what can get accomplished in those 2 years, we'll have to see. I am expecting things that are in pipeline to get pushed through more quickly than we've historically seen. With all of the attention around NAR, with the whole real estate commission lawsuit, I don't think that the real estate investing business or model is going to just escape all scrutiny. I referenced it a little bit earlier, but there was a woman that was doing short sales on HUD-owned properties using like fake proof of funds and stuff. Landed major media attention, which is just going to raise awareness to folks that are being sketchy. The fifth thing that I'm predicting for 2025 and personally looking forward to is less stagnation in the market. I'm predicting that we're going to see more folks selling and more folks buying. For all of 2024, there was tons and tons of negative attention in media dictated towards how real estate was unaffordable. It was overpriced. Properties were in poor condition. Housing has kind of been this focal point. And while those issues haven't gone away, what we are seeing is what appears to be like hope getting injected into the marketplace. At our company called Porter, we had a lot of sellers that were saying things like, yeah, I want to sell, but I'm going to wait and see what happens with the election. What we have seen so far through Q4 is a pretty dramatic uptick in the amount of inbound calls, not only at Call Porter, but we're also seeing increased faith from our real estate clients that are also spending more money on marketing than they were this time last year. I want to cover a couple opportunities that I see really kind of being on the table, as well as some things that I'm personally going to be focusing on rolling into the new year. I think there is a huge opportunity to snag existing local market share in your own backyard. Doing things like setting up, taking over, or buying your local RIA. One of our coaches in CCF and a good friend of mine accidentally closed their local RIA when they set up kind of just a nonchalant real estate meetup. All they did was literally said, hey, we're going to pay for the first $250 at the bar at this brewery. Come hang out. And that's where everyone went. Second thing you could look at would be acquiring the local buy, sell, and trade groups. It's where folks are coming to do business. That being sponsored by you with the occasional mention to what you do might not be a bad idea. And these typically aren't all that expensive to scoop up. The third opportunity that we're seeing is a lot of folks getting out of the real estate investing and agent business. They realized, hey, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. It's actual work. It's not all just like Lambos and yacht parties. There might very well be local competitors in your own backyard that have solid SEO web presence that are wearing thin on capital. They're tired of being bootstrapped and they're looking at exiting. I recently had a gentleman reach out to me about CCF that ultimately ended up just being like, hey, got a whole bunch of leads in this market. I'll give them to somebody if you know somebody in that market. I just want to try to recoup back some of my sunk costs. The final one, something I'm personally really looking into and going to be focusing on, is generating referrals, really automating and systematizing that process for people to bring us business, want to do business with us, and incentivizing that as an entire arm of our company. What I'm personally going to be focusing on above and beyond that for 2025 really is process optimization and my actual operating. For a long time, I've kind of had the self-talk of I am someone who executes regardless of how I'm feeling. I don't want to go to the gym, but I should go anyway because that's just who I am. That's just what I do. That same approach needs to be taken back and carried through the business. I might not feel like shooting a YouTube video today, but I'm shooting one for you guys. I might not feel like following up on my leads, but guess what? I'm going to do it anyway, even though I'm fighting a little bit of a cold. Part of that process optimization for me is going to be really focusing on my user experience and making sure that people that reach out to us that want to sell their properties get just an incredible white glove, seamless process. If I tell them they're going to get an offer from me within 24 hours, they'd better have one. If I tell them we're closing on a certain day, we'd better be closing on that day. I believe that by executing regardless of how we're feeling and focusing on providing the best service that we can possibly provide, we're going to boost A, that referral network, but B, that lifetime, long-term marketplace reputation. I recently heard a quote, I don't know where it was from, but it was, with a following, you can generate millions, but with a reputation, you can generate billions. Thank you guys for taking the time to hang out with me today. If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe. Again, my name is Ryan. Hopefully you're looking forward to 2025 as much as I am. See you soon.